You're listening to the Ask Drone U podcast. You ask, we answer your drone questions. Whether you're here to turn your passion into profit or you simply fly for fun. We're a community of learners and teachers who aspire to achieve greatness. We are
Drone U.
You hear that? That's aggressive clicking. That's what happens when you love videoblocks.com/drone creators. This is what happens when you see how many creative clips there are of things you've never seen. If you haven't, check it out right now, videoblocks.com/drone creator to save $100 off their annual subscription of copyright-free audio and video clips. All right, Rob, well, here we are. Welcome to another very corny show of Ask a Drone U. My name is Smooth Talking Paul.
And what radio station is this?
Oh, Smooth Jazz 103.5.
It's actually just another episode of Ask Drone U. Number 611, to be specific. Thanks for hanging out with us today, guys. We really do appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed that little show from Paul there. It's a beautiful day in Albuquerque. It's going to be hot, though. I wonder if it's hot where you guys are at, but if so, stay cool. Take care of those batteries. Take care of that drone. Be careful what you're flying in. Think about those things. I don't even know what our question's about today.
I hear it's an interesting one, Rob. I hear
it's an interesting one.
Thought-provoking.
Actually, I do know what it's about, and there are people all over the country who are probably in this same situation as Paul, where there are areas that they would love to fly, but they're just not sure if they can or should.
It's a good question. Let's just play the question.
Hey, Drone U, this is Paul. I'm from Missoula, Montana. Really appreciate all the great information and resources you provide. Get right to my question. Like I said, I'm in Missoula. We live in a beautiful area, outstanding nature all around. Problem is, all that nature is in some kind of designation, either Forest Service, fish and access sites, Montana state parks, wildlife management areas, national management areas, national wildlife refuges. What do I do? If I'm in clear airspace, it's a beautiful place, but I'm in a state park, do I need permission before I can take off? I'm a Part 107 pilot. It'd be commercial purposes, want to do photos, great landscape shots. Want to take advantage of where I live, but want to make sure I'm doing things legally and correctly, which I know you guys are all about. So point me in the right direction. Do I just contact individual state park managers? Do I just go for it? What do I do? Thanks, folks.
Paul, thank you very much for the question. He mentions a lot of different designations, to use his word. So I would imagine there's probably a variation of the answer depending on which specific one he's talking about.
There are, and it also depends on where he's talking about, because, for example, in Colorado, in state parks, you can't fly drones. Now, remember, the FAA is the only governing body that controls the airspace, but state parks can control where you take off and land.
Right.
As far as national wilderness areas, as far as the federal wilderness areas are concerned, that document from National Forest Service, again, in the Drone Pilot Field Kit. And guys, essentially, long story short, you don't need a permit unless you're on a certain type of film crew. That information, again, in the Drone Pilot Field Kit, dronepilotfieldkit.com. Rob, it's one of those things that, depending on where he is, it's going to really give the information. In most cases, though, I think he's going to find it okay to fly. He's going to have to look at Montana state parks and see if they have any rules against it. But my guess is no. There are only a few states that I know of right now where state parks are banned. California and Colorado come to mind, and I think it's Florida as well. In fact, yes, it is Florida. I remember because they said drones were banned in state parks. And then they let us train in a state park as long as we gave them photos.
So
now our drone photos are on Florida State Parks.
That's right. I forgot about that when you were there training. So any of those areas that were federally regulated, that's going to fall under those, essentially that memo, right? Is that accurate?
Yes. So National Forest Service and National Park Service are two different things.
Okay.
National Forest Service, in most cases, good to fly. National Park Service, in 99% of cases, not good to fly. We already talked about National Park Service, what you have to do to be legal in that that example. It's funny, he asked this question in Missoula. We have a student right now graduating. It was some Texas university getting his graduate degree, came to Drone U for his training on his way to finish his graduate degree and getting in geology, and he is in Missoula right now in Montana.
Very cool.
Josh Baker, you're the man. Who's also a big Charky fan, by the way.
Anyone who's tried it
had to throw that. Yes, that is true. But he is flying all over those parks. So I don't think that there is an issue in Montana state parks. I have not looked.
But so in terms of figuring that out, you can go to their website, obviously.
I'll just look right now.
And a lot of these websites, my hunch is that they're not going to have much information on drones. A lot of them haven't gotten that on their websites yet. Point being, in saying that, if it's not on their website, are you comfortable stopping there, or are you going to go ahead and call?
No, I'm comfortable stopping there. If it's not on their website, they haven't done their due diligence to make sure the information is available to the public, which in court would be arguable, even if they did have a regulation, if it wasn't on their website, that there is no reasonable I forget the term in law.
Expectation of discovery or something along those lines.
Obviously, the language is legalese, but it's something about like the reasonable expectation for communication or something like that.
Right.
So, but that being, I'm looking at their website right now and I'm searching for drone. Nothing.
I'd be shocked if there was anything there on drones. Which is a little bit surprising in the sense that there's so much beautiful area in Montana that...
Okay, so here's an example. Commercial use. State parks may not be used for any commercial purposes without a commercial use permit. So if you're flying for fun,
Wait, is that specific to drones or just commercial use in general?
Anything Montana state parks, yeah.
All right. And Paul, specifically, you said that you wanted to go fly for commercial purposes. He said that in his question. So it doesn't talk about drones specifically, but that would apply to you. Which
brings up, a very good point in that in many instances you may need permits for commercial photography, which is still under your wheelhouse. So you would still have to get permits. And I love, someone posted the other day that you need permits for other things beyond what is it called? And beyond just drone stuff. Mm-hmm. And I mean, yes and no. So as far as commercial photography goes, definitely there are rules. If you have the commercial photographer's rights in your drone pilot field kit, you'll know exactly what you can and can't do. Right. Again, dronepilotfieldkit.com. That is really the epitome or epitome, whatever, however you say it, of the drone documents you need that really do protect your ass.
And again, it's free, guys, so go get it. You might as well download it.
Get it.
Have it on your phone, PDF, and you can pull it up anytime you need it. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that answers this question. We went over, you really have to be good about researching. Drone U is in the process of creating a list of all state rules right now. We just got the world rules done, which is funny because you hear contradictory reports. I mean, even what you see in some places, you find different information in other places.
True. That could just be because it's such a fluid thing. It's changing so quickly.
It really is.
So fast.
Anyway, guys, if you found this podcast useful, though, would you do me a favor? Would you take the time right now, leave it a review, share it with a friend, share it on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. Do it right now. I'll wait for you. Just for a second. Okay. Please go do that. Really appreciate it. Guys, we're here for one reason. We love to fly, and we want to maintain the freedoms to fly, and we need your help in doing that. Would you help? That's going to do it for us today. My name is Paul.
I'm Rob.
This is Ask Drone U.